culture. Okay, right now we're here with Goons4God and I'm speaking to...
Arts, Woods.
Thank you for joining me. So, tell me a bit about yourself. How did your group all come about?
Yeah, well, about roughly 4 years ago, I gave my life to Christ. I grew up in a church background and so forth, but I didn't find it real. And from a younger age, I turned to the streets. And having lived in a life of crime and so forth, done time in jail and everything else, at the age of 30, I visited the Ark in Seabrook Road, Forest Gate, and then I had an encounter with God. I gave my life to Christ, and from that, God gave me a vision to go back to the streets where we came from and just spread the gospel. Didn't know how we were going to do it and so forth. So that's where it kind of started, and then it developed into what it is today now. So yeah.
So why the name Goons4God?
He came up with the name. God gave him the vision to call the group Goons4God, so that's the name we just ran with since then.
So how long have you been doing it for?
I'm doing it roughly for about 3 years. Now there's been times when we had like time off and so forth, but I believe that this year we've kind of come to a place of like real kind of strength and like unity amongst the group. So we're just pushing forward now to go to greater heights where God leads us. So that's really that's where we are right now. So we're just constantly out there in Newham on a weekly basis and so forth, just doing what we need to do for God.
So how much are in your group actually?
There's 6 members in the group currently.
What's the name?
Okay, so
So there's Woods, me, Arts, George, Looms, G3 and Marco.
So how does your faith and music mix?
Well, it started basically, I used to rap before, innit? I used to rap on the streets, but when I came to Christ, he kind of basically, he gave me a vision. Basically, there's drill music out there right now, innit? And he told me to do gospel drill. In the beginning, I wasn't really on it because it didn't really make sense to me. But God was saying to reveal the real truth through the gospel drill. There's the spiritual war. Like the war is not against man, me and you. It's against principalities, it's against the unseen world. So talk about that. Talk about the real war when you're doing the gospel drill. So that's what I do. I just talk about basically beef with the enemy, innit? Our adversary is Satan, innit? So we just talk about that and just talk about Jesus and how Jesus changed our life. And yeah, man.
Okay, so I noticed you mentioned the word gospel drill. So why do you call it that?
Why do they call it gospel drill? Because they call it drill because it's like war music, innit? So we call it gospel drill because we're still warring, but we're warring against the unseen enemy. We're warring against Satan and his demons. We're warring against anything that is against Christ, against God. That's what the real war, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's gospel drill, because we're still doing the drills on the enemy. So that's where.
So what do you think of the gospel drill scene at the moment then? Because there are a few other groups, but what do you think of the scene at the moment?
I only know a few people in it. There's a few people I listen to in it. Obviously we would know that Hope Dealers pioneered it. But there's other people out there like Zelly the Ranger, who else is out there? Luke November. So those are the guys I listen to, innit? Like that's basically me who I listen to.
So what music do you have next in the pipeline?
Right now, like, it's just like early days for us, innit? So we got a lot of music like in progress right now. We just released Ephesians 6. All our songs are on SoundCloud right now. So if you wanna see our songs, Goons4God SoundCloud, innit? So, and if you wanna see the freestyles, then it's Goons4God Instagram, innit? All our raps are on there. But yeah, right now we ain't on the bigger platforms as of yet, but we're gonna get there gradually.
So in the group, yeah, we're not all spitters. Do you understand? So like I said, the bread and butter for our thing is evangelism. That's where we go into the blocks, and then God downloaded the strategies and the right vision for the music to arts, because that's His thing. I've never been a rapper. I'll never be a rapper. And so I'm saying that, and that's not my thing. And I'll gladly put my hands up and say that's not me. But God, yeah, exactly. So God has given that to Ange, and that fully, wholeheartedly, He's trusted with that. It's not micromanaged or nothing. He is the head of music, and I trust him fully. God trusts him. So Yeah.
So can we get some yeah, come on.
Alright, cool. Man can't take me for no choir boy. Singing in rehearsals, I do drills, I back my sword. I watch a demon do dispersal. I got spiritual, not black ops. So my Call of Duty ain't virtual. I gotta tell the rebellious kids, dad said come home before curfew. Convicted of murder. Your sin is a gun. You stood before the judge, he said you're free to go, it's done. Your heavenly father loves you. He sent his only begotten son. You was looking at life till man like Christ said, fam, I'll ride that one. No bando still bagging up reap with your soul. Man can't turn back losses. Do road and gain the world and lose your soul. Can't turn back losses. Man roll with the king of kings. Man can't turn back bosses. Still shot in that light. Me and the man then wait and chop it. Went from a whole ounce of John 3:16 to moving boxes. That's 36 O's of the gospel. Distribute that. That's souls for the prophet. Gelly on me, one in a beat. But I can't do that. That's toxic. One day I'll get on my knee and watch my investment turn to a profit.
So once again, where can people find you?
Goons4God Instagram. Goons4God YouTube. Everything is Goons4God. Instagram Goons4God. Twitter Goons4God. YouTube Goons4God. And yeah, that's basically it. SoundCloud Goons4God. Yeah, that's where all the tunes are. Yeah, shout out to Beats and Bars. Goons4God. Done now. Roosh!
Culture.